Hi, it's Megan from A Special Place in Hell. Just a quick note about this episode. As you know, we try to be timely in our discussions around here, but sometimes we also get so busy making new episodes that we release things in a slightly different order than we recorded them. That is true of this episode, which we recorded a couple of weeks ago. So you're going to hear some references to the holidays and some holiday related cultural disputes. You can totally handle it, but we didn't want you to think you were losing your mind if you hear us talk about Christmas. The conversation is as fresh as ever, like fruitcake. So enjoy. In the culture war, there are no winners, just podcasters. Only a few are willing to risk their lives in the face of some of the dumbest ideas to have ever captured human civilization. Every week, we, Megan Daum and Sarah Hayter, humbly accept this mission to bring you conversations that are equal parts stunning, brave, and tapped out. Hi, Sarah. Do you appreciate tap dancing?
I do not.
You should.
I do not.
Okay. Well, you're in the majority. Apparently, the people have spoken, and tap dancing is not acceptable. Okay, there's a lot to discuss. First of all, hi. It's basically Christmas week.
It's almost Christmas week.
Almost Christmas week. Yeah. Christmas is on a Monday this year, so so we're going to talk about a number of things, including Michelle Goldberg's column, December 15th column about all the progressives becoming right-wing fascists, which is something that we're familiar with personally.
Yeah.
So, but before we get to that, I want to talk about this this macro aggression that's come out of the White House. So every year the White House releases like a Christmas video or some kind of, Christmas message, just from our family to yours sort of thing. And Dr. Jill Biden, the first lady, I guess commissioned this tap dancing troupe called the Michelle Durance is the proprietor of this tap dancing troupe. It's a dance company. I think they're based in, I don't know, they're based in New York, I think. And I really liked this number. It was a tap number to the Duke Ellington arrangement of the Nutcracker suite. I thought it was very exuberant. I thought the tap dancers were extremely talented. And everybody just lost their shit because, as it happens, the dance company's website has some anti-racism messaging.
Uh-oh.
So that will ruin any performance.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think conservatives complain a lot about how everything is being politicized, but then something like this shows up and they're politicizing it for no reason. It's just a silly dance that happens to happen at the White House. I don't think it has a deeper message. What's the deeper message?
That I think the problem was I think they thought that this was some kind of like covert signaling, like
because there's a black woman and there's what, genderqueer people. That's what it is. Like that's
right. Well, I mean, it was a very it had sort of like different elements. It had a kind of like Eyes Wide Shut kind of it had a little bit of a Cirque du Soleil vibe, but it had a kind of it was festive, but it also had this kind of
trippy,
weird, like,
trippy
kind of magical sort of thing. And people just went crazy. So what drove me bananas about this was that they seemed to be there was absolutely no appreciation for the artistry. Like nobody cared that these dancers were talented. They couldn't seem to tell that they were talented. Like people were saying, oh, well, this is no different than some like high school dance team or marching band performance. And it really like sent me into like an almost existential spiral of despair, because I kind of realized that all of these people that sort of are in our space and are, talking about wokeness or the culture wars or the meeting crisis and all of this, they have absolutely no interest in art or any sort of cultural context for anything.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Shocking.
So can I say, as someone who hates art, I don't hate art.
Please,
I don't hate art.
speak. Yes,
Speak freely.
You're going to represent that crowd.
Okay, it's not art that I do. I don't like dance and theater in this way. Like this kind of performance is really not my wheelhouse. I don't enjoy it. I find it cringy, weird. I don't know, but theater's always been like this. This is not new, you know, like this kind of dancey theater-y thing. There's cringy, weird elements incorporated in it. That's part of what people like about it. It's always been around. Cats is a thing, has been a thing.
Oh, this is so much better than Cats, but okay, fine.
I mean, Cats the musical or Cats the movie? Because both
Sarah,
are bad, right?
Cats the musical or Cats the movie?
Okay,
I didn't even
There's a movie and it's awful.
I am sure it is.
Did you watch it? You didn't watch it?
No.
Why not?
I mean, the Cats the musical is also Andrew Lloyd Webber is just a schlockster. I mean, what about Cats the T.S. Eliot poem?
You should read. You should watch Cats the movie to see what true cringe looks like, because everything about it is awful. Everything, and I mean, but there's talent, right? Like there's a bunch of talented actors.
The dancing,
the singing is amazing. There's a Jennifer Hudson scene that I can't forget where she's just crying, and it's a lot of emotion. It's just all this snot coming out. And that's how you know that it's like super. And you know what? It really disturbed me. I just cannot. That was like maybe the worst
actual
scene.
Snot.
She said it was real. Like
that doesn't make any sense because cats don't have snot.
Well, this cat had a ton of snot.
I mean,
and
goop.
It was just like streaming out, and the whole time I'm just thinking, like, please, just somebody, she could
get a tissue.
Even if she were to wipe with her arm, like with her sleeve, like a kid does, like. That would be. I mean, she doesn't have any sleeves, Meghan. She's a cat.
She should have started licking herself.
I mean, she could have done anything to get rid of it, but
no cat would allow that kind of thing.
And I had this, like, I remember watching Sam. I was like, this is disgusting. And I have the same feeling that I had, like, I think it was in Les Mis, right? Where there's also a crying scene.
Well, that's the same Andrew Lloyd Webber.
It's also the same director.
Stuff.
It's the same director.
Yeah.
It's the same director. He likes snot, or he condones it or something, because there's two snotty scenes are now burned in my memory, and they're both from his movies. But anyway, I hate art.
All right, let's get back to this White House video. So you did not like it. We should say.
I did not like.
I mean,
it,
I think everybody has seen it at this point.
It's not for me. It's not for me, and I didn't feel as if it was like especially weird or strange, or we're stepping into some new era of cringy, slightly wokey dance, when it's always kind of been like, it's always been like this. And yeah, they're talented, sure. If you enjoy that dance, you might think that they're talented.
But
enjoy
it. Well, I mean, they were clearly, like, you can tell a sort of half-assed amateurish performance versus real professionals. Mm-hmm. And they were clearly gifted, highly trained dancers. So I'm just going to read a little bit from the New York Post report on this.
All right.
Okay, so the Manhattan-based dance company featured in the White House's annual Christmas video endorses discredited anti-racism activists, and the quote, anti-racism activists, and radical left-wing causes, including prison abolition and defunding law enforcement.
Okay.
Let's see. While the tap routine appeared apolitical, the dance troupe's website is anything but, promoting far-left policies that are even out of step. It's good. With the Biden administration. This is a quote from the company's founder, Michelle Durrance. "I am a white tap dancer with Black cultural ancestors in a society that privileges white people and whiteness." And this is what she writes on a note on the website called why anti-racism work is important to me. "I am easy for white audiences wanting to access and experience elements of Black culture to swallow." That's not phrased. "My whiteness is the reason you may have heard of me before my two inspirations." And then she references the two contemporary Black tap dancers. I'm not going to pronounce this right.
Don't try.
Here's my
It's
microaggression. Anyway, she references two black dancers. Okay. I wasn't aware that that black tap dancers had been marginalized. I mean, Gregory Hines is one of the most famous tap dancers of all time.
Tap dancing with black people, actually. Like,
yeah.
Maybe because that's...
I mean, Savion Glover, Bill Robinson is probably the, original, most famous tap dancer. So this is my theory here. So Michelle Durance, she's 44 years old. She's a white woman. She's really talented. She started this company. This is reading to me like one of these hostage statements. She wants to keep her company going. I mean, that's all. She's trying to avoid being canceled. It's really sad because this is like a beautiful artistic ensemble as far as I can see. And she just feels obliged to put this messaging all over the place. And they've also like incorporated anti-racism into their whole like aesthetic as a kind of brand. I mean, they're using it as a branding. And if you go on their Instagram, it's like everything is sort of around this. And I mean, there's just really no reason for it. This is a mixed race group. I mean, this is like this dance troupe just in and of itself, to me, is anti-racist. Like, this is what we just used to call, like 20 years ago, artists coming together. Like jazz. Like, that's what that was about. Like, you just had people playing together and it transcended race and identity categories. And I feel bad for this woman. Because she happens to be white and this is her company.
So that's her first mistake. She should have pull in a black woman as a business founder, and
like
then
Regina Jackson,
and then you can say you're black owned and get all...
Look, Syra Rao is getting in more trouble lately. So her sidekick Regina Jackson probably be looking for a job. Regina Jackson should go and be the Michelle Dorance's business partner. You're right.
She could be your business partner,
Sarah,
for the unspeakable.
You're trying to put yourself out of a job?
Well, no.
For my other business.
For the meetings that you're having. I think then you could say you're black owned. I read there was who's that other Kardashian, the big one? The biggest Kardashian. Least attractive, but now kind of attractive. One? No. Physically
I don't
big.
even know who they are. But Kendall, Catastrophe. I don't know. I've never seen 1 second of a Kardashian piece of content.
Wait, Kim, I think Khloe is the one I'm thinking of.
Khloe.
She's the one that's like kind of like physically large is what I'm saying. She owns a company called Good American. And I was looking, I was like, that's a Good American. Is like, I saw it pop up somewhere, like was shopping, and it had the little marker black owned business. And I was like, what? Like, is she black? And then turns out she has a co-founder who's black, and now she can tap into that marginalized, like income stream and like free advertising to just
Well, you should be. They should just have like a service where you could just
hire a black co-founder.
You could subscribe and you have
any kind of minority, actually, maybe Native,
black, yes,
maybe queer, trans, anything.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Hijabi.
Marginalized cofounder.com. And you can just subscribe. It's like a service.
I should found
and
this.
you put in what you need.
Yeah.
Like all the different things. And you say, this is what I need as a business partner, just to be like my front, my symbolic sidekick.
Yeah.
Okay. The cultural, the cultural tone deafness and just the cultural illiteracy that is becoming increasingly apparent sort of across the sort of discourse landscape is really pissing me off. Like I said, I don't like it that people honestly are just willfully, like they don't see that this is well done. They actively dismiss it, or they're sort of like, I saw a lot of people were just like really proud of the fact that they didn't care about anything about this, that they didn't even know what the Nutcracker was. Like I saw some tweets like, well, what does the Nutcracker have to do with Christmas?
They're just making that up, maybe. I don't know. I think
I don't know.
People just look at things from this one lens and they can't take it off. They can't take off those glasses and look at the world in any other way. But I don't think this is the majority of anybody. You know, I think this is just, it was the usual suspects that I saw like glomping onto this and making fun of it as if it was this like terrible video or just like spoke to something deeper in the Biden administration. And I feel like we were just mindlessly politicizing something that has nothing to do with politics, really.
But I felt like I was seeing it among even some of like the heterodox people, like maybe the sort of edgier, you know, black pill, heterodox adjacent people. I don't know. Although I did think it was interesting that Ann Coulter stood up for the video.
She should be on the podcast.
She said she liked it.
We should get her on the podcast.
Just to talk about this. I bet you Ann Coulter was a tapper too.
Yeah.
As a kid. I don't know, maybe. I mean, but the other thing is, so I'm reading this again, like, does anybody check anything? I'm reading this New York Post story, and it says, the playful interpretation of the Nutcracker suite, which was widely panned for its Hunger Games and Clockwork Orange aesthetic. Okay, apparently there was some Hunger Games reference.
Okay.
Was there?
I don't know.
But okay, Clockwork Orange, excuse me, New York Post reporter, I think you're thinking of Eyes Wide Shut. This has nothing to do with Clockwork Orange. Like, they have these masks on. There's this kind of masked ball vibe going on in the video. And that's from Eyes Wide Shut, which is a Stanley Kubrick film, as is A Clockwork Orange. But that's totally different. Like, I don't understand. Like, are there no editors? How does this get written up? Or did a AI write this story?
I think there's just an audience for it. You know, it doesn't matter that it's true or right or anything. It's just there's an audience for it, and they're not going to check. So it's, you know, it's just not relevant. I mean, I think I was complaining about this in the founding members hangout happy hour, in which I was the only person drinking.
You didn't know that.
No, I could see. Like, nobody else was like, no, they were being normal and playing with their babies, and I was drinking. But I've looked into Patrick Deneen's book.